Caroline here, and this week Shadowhunters came back January 2nd on Freeform, ABC, whatever it is now, and Netflix on January 3rd, which is where I watch it because I don't live in America. I have to wait an extra day. Shadowhunters came back for a second season. It is a bigger season. I believe there are 20 episodes, or maybe just over 20 episodes, and I think it's being split into season 2A and season 2B. I don't think they filmed the second half yet. So it's a bigger season. It's much bigger. It's got a bigger budget after the success of season 1. So I made lots of notes while I was watching of what my thoughts were of this episode and the beginning of season 2, so I am going to discuss them with you now. I didn't dislike the episode, I will just put that out there now. I think that the cinematography is a lot better. One of the things that sort of really bugs me in just any film is when things aren't consistent, when they don't make sense within the show. What you've mentioned needs to be backed up, and I think that's why I love worlds that are as big as Cassandra Clare's, and same with things like Harry Potter and stuff, because everything has a place and everything makes sense, but the show didn't do that as well as I wanted them to. It is getting much better. It was definitely better than season 1. I liked the way it looked. I liked the filming a lot more. I felt that the cast understood their characters a lot more, and that just felt a lot better to me. It felt as though I was going back into something that I fully understood, and I understand that this world is different from the book world, but now going into it, it was better because I knew that's what they were going to do, and I knew they were going to make these changes. So in order to go into it and know that these changes are going to be different, but to also have an established different world that I knew, helped a lot with enjoying this episode. So obviously episode 1 of season 2 focused a lot on trying to get Jace back, and there's been lots of people that have been questioning Jace's loyalty, and Jace did choose to go with Valentine, but Jace didn't really have a choice. Like, there's lots of things that have been going on in Jace's life, and lots of things that Jace doesn't really know and understand, and suddenly all of that gets thrown it back into his face, and he realises that his father is not who he thought he was, his childhood was not what he thought it was, his family was not what he thought it was, and he has to suddenly question everything. So he goes with Valentine, partially to protect his friends, and because there wasn't really much of a choice and everyone would have been killed, and also partially because I think he feels as though he has to, because he has to understand what Valentine is doing. Nonetheless, Jace is really struggling and really suffering with the choice that he's made, and really suffering with the fact that he's now with Valentine. You see these really horrible but effective scenes of Jace fighting, of being beaten the crap out of by Valentine's little boat army that he's got going on, and he's really suffering, and you can see the way that Valentine is manipulating him. And I feel as though I can't remember his name. The guy that plays Valentine, why can't I remember his name? Anyway, him. He is acting that fantastically. I think he's really, the way that he's talking with Jace and the way that he is playing his character is really good, because he's saying it so casually and like it's so normal, but he knows that it's really messing with Jace's head, and it's playing really well. And I think that in episode 1, Dominic Sher, who plays Jace, was actually one of the strongest characters. I really enjoyed those scenes because they were really creepy and horrible, and it was really fun watching my sister-in-law's reactions because she hasn't read the book, so to see her reacting in the correct way to Valentine and to what he's been doing to Jace was really good, and it shows that the show has done it well as well. One thing I wasn't exactly sure of was the whole showing Jace the vision of injecting Jocelyn with demon blood when she was pregnant, because that, I don't know if I'm happy with being introduced so early, because there's so much that comes from that and so much that has to be understood from that. But they've speeding lots of things that, you know, Simon's a vampire already, so we'll just go with it. But that was something they've introduced very early on. Alec is also really struggling here, like massively. He's lost his parabatai. And another thing is, they keep saying how strong this parabatai bond is, and how if Jace dies, a part of Alec will die and all this. But in season 1, the bond was spoken about like it could break, and that it could be weak and it could break. And I just don't know why they keep changing how important this bond is. That wasn't consistent, but regardless of that, I really liked the way that Matt Daddario played that. I think the acting in that was really good, and you could definitely see the turmoil that Alec was going through, and it was really representative of Alec in the beginning of the books. Him and Magnus as well, they've already got the kind of troubles between their relationships. Alec's got a lot to think about. He's angry and Alec's angry, and the one thing that Alec always does when he is angry is kind of broods and takes it out on people, even though he doesn't mean to. It's just the way that he's always learned to do it. His family is entirely shifted, his whole life has entirely shifted the past couple of weeks, and he's got a lot to deal with, and I think Matt Daddario is playing that really well. Of the Malik scenes, I really liked the one when he came to apologise, and Magnus wasn't just being like, yeah, that's fine. They really spoke about it. They spoke about what was going on and why it was upsetting, and I liked that. I think they've got good chemistry. They work well together, and I think they really understand their characters, so I like seeing that. I like seeing them back with a more established relationship. And one thing that I can kind of like say about the books that I didn't like when I read the books, because I love these books, and I think a lot of people think that I hate the show, but it's not that case. It's just that I prefer the books because there's much more to them and they were the original story. The one thing that I didn't always like is that Alec and Magnus didn't properly communicate until City of Heavenly Fire, and then they get better, and that's why I'm really loving reading like the novellas and Lady Midnight, because their relationship is really strong and they communicate lots. But miscommunication was a massive thing, and they didn't really talk about things, but in this they seem to be doing that, and they seem to talk about what's been going on, and I like that, and I like that they're doing that and they're actually talking through things, because a lot of things probably could have been avoided in the Mortal Instruments. And I know why, because I know what Alec was going through, and I know why they didn't talk as well, but it's nice to actually see. I'm liking that they're doing that. Magnus saying that I'm a lot to get used to, that was really sad, because I was like, no, you're not, you're amazing, I love you. Ignore everyone that ever told you that. It was really funny as well, because there was a bit, and this is not relevant, Magnus is like, Alexander, and he was like, why don't you just take a break? And then literally I just turned and was just like, run away with us for the summer, let's go upstate. I really did like the way Matt Dyer was playing it, and his relationship with Jace is really obvious, and the way that he really cares about him and really wants to find him. I think the acting was really good. The fight scenes were better, they were a lot more gruesome. They really like have gone full on that. Like watching Jace get beat the crap out of was really uncomfortable. And the vampires, where Valentine takes Jace, all the blood. Victor Aldertree, I don't like him. I don't know why he's there. Why can't the Lightwoods just keep running the Institute? Maris is really annoying me as well. I don't know why they keep blaming Jace. Jace didn't really have much of a choice in this situation. Valentine was going to kill everyone. Clary explains this. They all explain this. They all say this is essentially what's going on, and he's gonna die pretty much. Like he did it to save everyone. She called Jace like a cancer, which was really harsh. That was really full on. I was like, whoa. But I really liked that Alex still stood up for him and still said, I'm not gonna turn my back on someone just because they're a hard choice. And I really liked that, and that really showed sort of how Alec has grown in the seasons. Valentine cooking. We all want to eat at Shea Morganstone. I really liked the Simon and Clary scene. Simon almost told her that he liked her. They have these little moments together that are really nice. I think that Kat and Alberta have good chemistry, which is good to see. You can tell they get on off and on screen, which is good. And we had the scene when they were running, and Claire was like, well, run faster, and he's like, I'm a vampire, I'm running slow for you, and that was really good, and I really liked that. Clary and Izzy's training scene, I liked the choreography. I like the fact they're not doing as much of the weird slow-mo-y fighting things anymore. They did it like once or twice in this episode, and it's not necessary. It works better when you just see them fighting and it just looks like real time. It was clever the way that she explained to able to do the shapeshifting in order to know your enemy, you gotta be your enemy. Jocelyn's annoying me because she's not explaining why she's acting weird. She looks Clary and Simon in the thing and then goes off and tries to bloody crossbow Jace. She's not explaining why. Like, I would really like them to just be able to communicate a bit more, and I want Jocelyn to explain to Clary why she's acting the way she is, because I feel like lots of things could be cleared up. I would be on Valentine's boat if it had that view. Like I'd live on that ship if I could look out every day and have that view of New York. That was amazing. I assume it's green screen. I didn't think they actually shot in New York, but if it is, that was incredibly well done. I really loved those scenes on the boat, the cinematography of them, the way it all looked, the setting. It was really good. A couple of things I didn't like that I want to discuss. Shape-shifting runes. What are with shape-shifting runes? I've got lots of issues with shape-shifting runes. For those that haven't read the books, I know quite a lot of you just watched the show, which is fine, but shape-shifting runes don't exist. There's actually a character in the Infernal Devices who has that as a power, and runes like that don't exist because, as you see in the show, they would just be completely manipulated all the time. You would never know who was who and what was really going on. So I don't really like the fact they've added that in. I know they're making loads of changes and that's fine, but I don't like that one because I'm constantly questioning who's who and what's actually happening. And when Clary showed up to Luke's as Aldertree and then she turned back into Clary, I was, for about 10 minutes afterwards, me and my sister-in-law were like, what if she's not actually Clary though? And it just ruined because it took it away from, I didn't actually know who was who and what was going on. Overall though, I did like the episode. There were things about it that were a bit questionable and things about it that I did really enjoy. The acting is definitely gotten better. The chemistry has gotten better. I'm really, really enjoying it. The relationships between the characters seem really genuine now. I'm really liking the writing a little bit more. There wasn't as many cheesy lines. It actually made me laugh. I'm a vampire, I'm running slow fever. That was a really good line, and I feel like the writing has really improved, and I did really like it, and I've got really high hopes for the rest of the season. I'm really looking forward to it. They always say, so when there's a new season, you know, it has to get back into it. There has to be those sort of build-up episodes to kind of catch up from what happened and then go back in. So I am optimistic for the rest of the season. I did enjoy it a lot more. There's a new introduction which I liked as well. They're using the same song but the new kind of layout, and it just felt like something much bigger. What did you think of episode 1 of season 2 of Shadowhunters? Let's have a discussion down below. If you're new here, I make bookish videos a couple of times a week, so if you would like to stick around and join us, then you can do that. And as usual, all my links will be in the description below if you would like to come hang out with me on other social media. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really, really, really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.